Since our mountains and valleys are so beautiful and inviting, more and more people are using our backcountry. With this increased use, injuries and illnesses are bound to happen occasionally. Response and recovery time is a top priority to get aid to the victim and bring them out. There are miles of trails beyond an accessible road, and to bring a victim out on a stretcher from as far back as 6 miles can be very demanding and exhausting, compounded by the fact that rescue personnel carry 40 to 60-pound packs, and due to the urgency of the situation, rest stops may not be allowed. There has been a great need for an emergency rescue carrier that is maneuverable over rough terrain while bearing all the weight and being easy to manage. Neet Kart scores high in all these benefits. In its storage mode, Neet Kart can be carried in the back of the seat of an extended cab pickup or inside an emergency vehicle, and can be assembled to work in 3 to 5 minutes. The Stoke stretcher, or a backboard, can be firmly attached to Neet Kart in less than 2 minutes with a ratchet strap. Once the strap is properly tightened, the Stokes is totally secure and ready for use. The stretcher is hand-carried to the rescue site. Packs can be carried there on the stretcher to help reduce fatigue. Some of these recoveries have been as remote as 6 miles one way. The victim is placed on the stretcher, covered and secured. Rescue personnel have to wear their heavy packs and proceed to hand carry the victim up or downhill, through and over various obstacles. Even on level terrain, this work can be very exhausting. Going through brush and trees requires extra effort, especially since each person assisting in the rescue is not only carrying the loaded stretcher, but their backpack weighing 40 to 60 pounds. A stretcher can be firmly attached and fastened to Neet Kart with a ratchet strap, and all backpacks can be placed on the stretcher. They should also be secured, as they may slide back and forth in going up or downhill. The handlebars can be turned straight up or left straight forward for convenience in maneuvering. One person can manage the back handlebars, with one person on each front handlebar, since the stretcher extends too far forward for one person to manage both. Neet Kart is steadied while the victim is placed on the backboard, covered and secured in a Stokes, before starting up the old abandoned road and through the trees. Neet Kart carries all the weight and is easily managed. Going up the narrow deer trail in the trees would allow little room to hand carry a Stokes, but is easy passage for Neet Kart. Going down the narrow deer trail on the side hill is quite manageable with the 2-wheel inline design of Neet Kart. The handlebars are turned upward for better control on this terrain and turned straight forward for continuing up the hill. The junior LVA members are using Neet Kart for the first time in this rescue simulation and not fully acquainted for best performance. This is a demonstration of Neet Kart's unique advantage of being able to transport a victim in a stretcher up and down stairs. The bumping of going from one step to the next can be greatly reduced to comfortable levels by moving slower in ascending or descending. When going downstairs, it is more advantageous for the front handlebars to be turned upward, allowing for greater and more comfortable control. Emergency rescue personnel during a training session are transporting a victim on Neet Kart over irregular terrain. They are purposefully traveling down the ditch strewn with boulders to experience how well Neet Kart can negotiate rough terrain. There are 4 persons assisting in this exercise, but 2 people could manage if necessary. To hand carry a victim in a stretcher would require 6 to 8 persons. Imagine hand carrying a big victim 6 miles. The firemen are in the process of placing a victim on a backboard on Neet Kart. The backboard can be secured with a ratchet strap, but it is not necessary for this training session. Positioning of the backboard is important for 2 reasons. Proper weight distribution on Neet Kart. The backboard, or stokes, should be positioned such that the head and shoulder area would be over the back wheel, which would then place the hip area over the front wheel. This positioning better distributes the weight over both wheels, which assists in easier maneuvering. Neet Kart is a new and unique patented design that is beneficial for emergency recovery purposes. It folds smaller than any other carrier available and assembles securely with just 1 pin, plus 1 pin for each handlebar. In traveling to a recovery site, the backpacks can be carried in the stokes. In transporting the victim out, the total recovery is less labor-intensive than with any other carrier.